is a 9/11 survivor, the last person out of the World Trade Center North Tower. Well, on September 11th, William Rodriguez saved an estimated hundreds of people from the World Trade Center after putting his own life on the line. He then became trapped under the debris from the tower for hours before rescuers managed to free him from the rubble. And here with us now to share his really amazing story is William Rodriguez. William, is it William, Bill, which do you prefer?
Maria, for you is Willie.
Thanks, Willie. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it. Why don't you tell me what happened on that dark day?
Well, basically, we are doing a presentation. It's a story of hope, expectation, motivation, and disposition of what the human spirit can do in a moment of despair. I worked in the building for 20 years. I was the person in charge of all the stairwells of the North Tower. And on 9/11, I had the only master key that opened the doors that rescue people. This is the master key. They call it the key of hope. And basically, I was a janitor. Like I said, on that day, there was an explosion on the basement, and this is prior to the building got hit by the plane. And then the plane hit, and then there was a series of explosions afterwards. And a person comes running into the office saying, explosion, explosion, explosion. His skin was pulled all from his armpits all the way to the top of the fingertips, and pieces missing off his face, and then it was total chaos. I started putting people outside the building, and went back inside 3 times, basically rescuing people from the basement. And then at the 3rd time, I just went with the master key, and I started opening the doors for the fire department so they could actually help people to escape from the stairwells. At the very last moment, there was a person on a wheelchair that needed to be basically given first aid. As I brought him down, the building started to collapse. Actually, I got him to the lobby. When I put him on the lobby, I went to set up an ambulance, and the building started to collapse. And I saw a fire truck, and I sleep right under the fire truck, and the building basically buried me. And I survived under the rubble. Everybody else died.
Oh, my God.
And I said, okay, I'm going to be late. I made it at 8:30 in the morning. 8:30. And I went straight to the basement, number 1 of the tower. The building has 6 sub-levels of basement, B1, B2, all the way down to B6. Our support office for American Building Maintenance, that was the company that I worked for, was located on B1. So I went there, I'm talking to the supervisor, in front of the door, when all of a sudden, at 8:46, talking to him, there's 14 people in the office, we hear, boom! An explosion so powerful and so loud that pushed us upwards in the air coming from below. And it was so powerful that all the walls cracked, the false ceiling fell on top of us, the sprinkler system got activated, and everybody started screaming in horror, help, 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 because we didn't know what was going on. Everybody screaming. The first thing that comes to my mind is that a generator just blew out on the mechanical room. The mechanical room was located right below us on the B2 basement number 2. And that's where you have all the generators, all the water pumps, all the machinery for the elevators. Everything was there. But I'm speculating. I'm speculating. I'm saying it's a generator to myself. Not that it ever was a generator, because I never know what it was. I never find out what it was. But when I went to verbalize it, because everybody's screaming in horror, we hear, bah! And an explosion all the way on the top of the building. And that was the plane hitting the top. 2 different events, separated by almost 7 seconds. Different events. And when we hear that, remember, the building was designed to oscillate. And it shakes from side to side so much that you could hear the walls cracking. And everybody's screaming in horror, help, help! But nobody's moving. Everybody's like paralyzed. And all of a sudden, from the corridor, this person comes running in, hands extended, saying, explosion, explosion, explosion. His eyes in horror, and his hands extended. And when I looked at him, he had something hanging from the top of the fingertips that looked like clothing. And when I see that, and he get closer, ladies and gentlemen, I realized it was his skin was pulled from under his armpits on both arms. And it was peeled off, and it was hanging from the top of the fingertips. It was a black guy named Felipe David, a Honduran from a company called Aramark, who I did not know. I never met that guy before. And his skin is hanging. As he gets closer, everybody's screaming in horror. As he gets closer like this, All this part of his face is hanging. It's hanging. And when we see that, again, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And his red shirt, because it wasn't red, it was soaked in blood. I said, don't move, please don't move. I went inside the office to pick up the phone to call the emergency medical unit that was located on the south tower. You see, the north tower and the south tower connected through the basement. And they were very fast to respond. When I went to pick up the phone, bah! Another explosion. The building shook so much and the floor started moving below us that people thought that it was an earthquake. And they started going inside the office under the door frames thinking that it was an earthquake. And they're piling up over there screaming, help, help, help. My supervisor, Anthony Saltalamacchia, is screaming, it's a bomb, it's a bomb. Not that it was a bomb, but he survived, like I did, the bomb of 1993. On 1993, a bomb was placed on that tower on February 27, and it killed 6 people, injured 1,000 people, and he's acting by osmosis. He's reacting to an experience.